is a fantastic day to talk some shit about Bari Weiss. Because listen, guys, Bari Weiss is done. Don't believe the headlines. Her days are numbered. And I'm going to show you how CBS is secretly stripping her power away. It's over. They are confirming in other means that she is officially finished. And they are secretly preparing for her little exit.
Bari Weiss is murdering CBS News. She's murdering journalism and the First Amendment.
Bari Weiss essentially is decimating programs with the highest journalistic integrity, like 60 Minutes.
Bari Weiss is destroying CBS. They want it to be nothing but a propaganda factory for Donald Trump and billionaires and Israel.
When Paramount first announced they were handing the keys of the legendary CBS News empire to Bari Weiss, the entire media industry collectively gasped. They were like, what the fuck? And they've seen a lot of nepotism in their day, but this is like next level Nepo mania. And outside of running a opinion newsletter and having a penchant for Twitter drama, this 41-year-old had absolutely zero broadcast television experience. Zero. And for a while, people were like, okay, whatever, we've got a lot of problems going on in this world. We're just gonna continue on like everything's fine. But then the veteran journalists started getting fired.
That's a family at 60 Minutes. My colleagues and I have worked together 10, 20, 30 years. We travel together. We dine together. We go into literal combat together. These bonds are pretty tight. When somebody wipes out, murders a large number of your family members, people are hurt and shocked, in disbelief.
And then the lawsuits began to get more and more expensive and more public, and people couldn't help but pull at the threads of her actual editorial decisions, including Erica Kirk, an Erica Kirk special that nobody asked for.
I just sat down for an hour with Erica Kirk and we talked about everything.
What the fuck? And as they did, what they found underneath is one of the most chaotic corporate meltdowns in modern TV history. And I'm going to show you today. And real quick, I'm Loren Piretra. Willa Piretra and I just got back from Mondani-san, and it was fantastic. Can't wait to tell you all about it. But just a reminder, if you're new here, we do all of this, Willa Piretra and I, out of pure principle and an absolute refusal to ever let Katie Miller catch up. We currently have a lead on Katie Miller, the woman who married Stephen Little Bitch Miller on purpose, that pale white nationalist from Santa Monica. And we cannot continue to grow without your support. So consider every sub, every hype, every comment, every share, wherever you get your podcast, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, every action, every comment, every save. Everything creates a protective barrier between you and Stephen Little Bitch Miller, who could be coming out of your crawl space, coming out of your drain if it's left unattended and you don't run your water often enough. So make sure you subscribe. Let's work towards a timeline where that man is in a windowless cage. So if you've been following the news cycle, you already know about the surface level disasters of the Weiss regime. And last night, Axios dropped a bombshell that changes everything. They gave us a little inside scoop. They're bringing on a counterpart. And if you speak corporate America, corporate PR, you know exactly what that means. To understand the end, we have to look at how we got here, because it builds and it gets so much weirder. By the time we get to the Axios scoop, you're going to realize that this isn't just an expansion of her power. It is a public execution. So let's start with the mess. And we're going to get into what's completely unhinged here. So when you take over a legacy network, one of the things you do not touch is 60 Minutes, the crown jewel. But Bari Weiss, underneath her, it became a total bloodbath. It started with the unceremonious firing of veteran correspondent Scott Pelley. Why was he ousted? Because he publicly called out the new leadership.
Why did you feel compelled to speak up?
I felt that somebody had to stand up for the broadcast, not just the broadcast, but the people. There are people in that room who go to war zones when they are pregnant. It is a life-threatening job in many instances. And to have people running CBS News who don't know that, have never felt that, and don't understand stand it, is a tragedy I never expected to see.
Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Brickhouse Nutrition. Everyone's talking about weight loss injections because the results are so dramatic. They work by lowering your blood sugar and reducing your appetite. So what if you're looking to lose weight, but you're not interested in those painful weekly injections, especially when you hear about some of those intense side effects? Well, that's why doctors created a weight loss supplement called Lean, and the results are remarkable. The studied ingredients in Lean have been shown to lower your blood sugar, burn fat by converting it to energy, and curb your appetite and cravings so you're not as hungry. But listen, Lean is not for the casual dieter with only a few pounds to lose. The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition created Lean for frustrated dieters with 10 or more pounds to lose. And let's get you started today with 20% off and free rush shipping so you can add Lean to your healthy diet and exercise plan. You can visit takelean.com and enter code Loren, that's Loren, for your discount. That's promo code Loren at takelean.com. Pelly questioned the qualifications of newly appointed executive producer Nick Bilton, and more importantly, he accused Bari Weiss of trying to kill the news magazine. The core allegation was pretty damning. Pelly told the New York Times that Weiss directly put her thumb on the scale for Donald Trump regarding a story about the state execution of Renee Nicole Good.
Bari Weiss sends an email to my boss, Tanya Simon. Two of the things in the email include, can we make the protesters look more violent? Now, I'm paraphrasing. I don't have the quote, but that's what was communicated to me. And the other thing was Renee Good's car. You need to describe her as driving toward the officer.
She demanded specific editorial changes. Pelly refused. He aired the piece his way and got the boot. CBS tried to dispute it, claiming the edits had no political motivation, but the damage was done, and the staff noticed. And in recent months, longtime executive producer Bill Owens resigned, and more than a dozen staffers completely walked out. They GTFO'd. Then comes the lawsuit. Donald Trump sued CBS over a 60 Minutes interview, claiming it was deceptively edited. Every legal expert on the planet agreed that CBS would have easily destroyed the lawsuit in court, but they didn't go to the court. Paramount folded and paid out a staggering $16 million to settle it. Why? Because Paramount is desperately trying to merge with Skydance Media, and critics openly admit that the settlement was essentially a massive payoff designed to win the Trump administration's approval for the merger. So the talent is fleeing. They are running like they're on the Titanic. The legacy shows are imploding, and the network is paying out 8-figure settlements to appease politicians like Trump. But it gets worse because the network is bleeding its most valuable asset, its credibility. Weiss built her whole image pretending to be a free speech champion. But critics are pointing out that her version of free speech seems to be only in the rightward direction. It's very Charlie Kirk of her, very Erica Kirk of her. After the 2024 election, she publicly stated that she was a former sufferer of Trump derangement syndrome, and she praised his policies. Nothing like licking the boot. The immediate fallout was New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani backed out of a scheduled CBS interview after Weiss appeared to endorse social media attacks against him. When politicians start refusing to appear on your network because your editor-in-chief is openly fascist and biased against them, advertisers get a little terrified. If marketers pull out their money, the network dies. They have no place else to go, which brings us to this Axios scoop. So yesterday, Axios reported that Paramount had held primary conversations with several candidates to be a business side counterpart to Bari Weiss. The official PR spin that Paramount fed to Axios is freaking hilarious. They claim that if the Paramount Skydance deal was with Warner Brothers and Discovery goes through, Weiss will oversee all news editorial across both CBS News and CNN. And this new person will just handle the business ops. Do not fall for it. Anyone who has ever survived a corporate restructuring, I was like a cat with 9 lives at my first job. The first company I worked at for 10 years, from the time I was 19 to the time that I was 29. And I saw restructuring go down like the Hunger Games, once a quarter, every year. And any of your friends who've been a corporate whore will get chest pains at the word reorg or restructure, because we know that restructuring and bringing in a counterpart is never a good thing. It is calculated. It's a preemptive strike to lessen the blow of what's coming next. And it is like a big distress signal, warning sign that start fucking shopping around, start packing it up, because we know what's coming next. So let's translate this from corporate to plain language English. When they're saying they're bringing in a counterpart for Bari Weiss, what they actually mean is they're diluting her power, because she is a liability. She is a mess. And when they say this new hire will handle business ops, that they mean they desperately need an adult in the room to stop the advertisers from leaving. And when they dangle that carrot that she might oversee CNN too, they're just getting ready to lock her into a title-only role while the new person actually runs the show. And let's fucking pray that they are not equally fascist and Looney Toony Zionists. You do not hire an equal level counterpart when your editor-in-chief is succeeding. You just don't do that. Name a time in history that that's gone down, when you're doing a great job, such a great job that they're gonna hire another you and you're just gonna stay and make the same amount and everything's gonna be rosy. Yeah, well, wait. Okay, so you bring in a counterpart to shadow the boss, to establish a new power center, and to stabilize the ship before you throw the captain overboard. Bari Weiss has a very specific pattern. She goes to an institution, like a tornado, like a bat out of hell, causes a massive disruption, and when the walls start closing in, reinvents herself. And she exits claiming that she's the victim of the system. Paramount sees the writing on the wall. They are preemptively lessening the blow and installing the guardrails right now. This way, when she inevitably makes herself take a dramatic exit, or when they finally push her out, the network doesn't collapse with her. This is not a promotion here. Bringing in a counterpart, it's a babysitter. It's an on-the-clock, Bari Weiss at CBS countdown timer, and it's ticking.